you going after Beyonce. You never shoot your shot. If you too chicken shit to go holler at her, you never know what it's gonna be like to be with her. And then like I tell people, hey, oatmeal is better than no meal. From one single play, I made $1.3 million, and I also made $916,000 from Revlon trade
That's a lot of money, bro.
and from the Nvidia trade alone. Man, I cried like a baby with my son. You know,
What did you tell the people when you make that money?
I'm rich, bitch.
Welcome to the Haitian Kings Podcast. Man, you know when we got those glasses on, you know we mean business. Today we got a special guest, and this guy is a stock trader. I know that there's a lot of people that have a lot of questions about stocks. What should I get in the stock market? All these questions. So we got an expert in here that we're gonna ask him question. You at home, they're probably wondering, how am I supposed to do this? We're gonna make sure we ask enough question if it's something that you're willing to do. So this man here is Sal. How you doing, Sal? Thank you for coming to the show,
I'm
man.
pretty good, man. Enjoying the company here today, and I'm gonna teach y'all. Well, not teach y'all more or less, because it'll take too much time to really explain each and everything. But I'm gonna give y'all the basics. I'll tell y'all, y'all can come get educated, make y'all some money, and really be self-sufficient in life. Or if you trying to, just want to make some extra money in life aside from your job, you can do that. Or you want to take some trips, or you want to take, trips. Vacations like with your loved ones, or pay that mortgage off, buy you some rental property. Whatever you choose to do with this.
But let's start from the beginning, like way back. Just like I'm sure you were like 18, 19, 20 years old, or however old you were. Like, get us from the beginning. How this whole thing started. Who's Sal back then?
So 18, 19, I really, being brutally honest with y'all, trading stock options wasn't even on my mind or doing anything legal. Just we gonna keep it a buck here. Ain't no way. Ain't no point in telling people, some fictitious story about, hey, I want to go to college or do this and do that. Being a hustler was one of the biggest things on my mind. Now I had, went to school for football. Ended up getting kicked out and all that good stuff. But man, doing nothing legal. You know what I'm saying? That was the furthest thing from my mind. But I done took some falls in my life. Did quite a bit of time. In a penitentiary and different things of this nature. Learned my lesson and learned how to read and write and all that good stuff. And we here now. Of course, I've had my downfalls and I've worked various jobs, but more or less everything that I went through in my life, it just taught me maybe I guess you can say how to just excel in life now. I got the structure from being locked up and waking up early, reading and all that good stuff, and charting and doing my homework and staying away from the stuff that's really not paying nothing. I view a lot of stuff as assets or liabilities. Just in life in general.
But I gotta say this though, like let's just say back then, as you said, you were out there being up to no good or whatever. Mm-hmm. When did it click to where okay, there's life within this stock thing to it, like it piqued your attention?
Yeah, so like I got a good friend of mine named Kendrick Johnson, and he made some money in the stock market. Now this is when I'm doing well and stuff like that. So I said, man, look, I don't remember the exact amount, maybe $6,000, $7,000, $8,000, and I said, man, you know what, I'm gonna go learn that here too. I don't know how to do it, but I want to make that money you just made, because I ain't never made that money legally. So I went to Books A Million and I got Stock Options for Dummies, and I read like the first 20, 25 pages of it, and more or less I understood the beginning parts of it, and we started getting to the lingo, and long story short, I didn't understand it, so I didn't even mess with it. But years passed by later, and I learned how to. They had telegrams and. This was before Discourse got really popular. And, I'm on Twitter and just clowning, and I just see people making all kind of money, and I just started inboxing people on Twitter. And so I got in the Telegram for trading penny stocks. None of my friends was doing that because my partner, he just in the stock market. You know, not with the penny stock, but just the stock market in general, shares and stuff like that. And I've learned that way, and by then, a few years passed by, and I get on YouTube and I started learning one thing from the next. But that's the only thing I knew about trading the penny stocks on TD Ameritrade, the OTC.
Over the counter
Yeah,
for people that don't know.
The pink sheets and stuff like that. I didn't even know nothing about Robinhood or nothing like that.
But let's just say like you started, and I'm sure back then you kind of dabbed into it, but I'm sure you still had like a typical 9 to 5 going on. Am I right?
Yeah, I had a 9 to 5 going on.
Okay,
by
but
then. I'm working different jobs, and so I'm working in the plants by then. Pipeline in the plant, the refineries, whatever. But I still didn't want to work them jobs because it was hella money. But man, I couldn't control my time. And for me, it's like I don't care who boss. I can't control my time. I can't go to lunch when I want to. I can't go, take a trip when I want to. I can't go, enjoy this football, basketball game with my kids if I want to. It's at their discretion if they approve it or not.
But I gotta ask you this though. Like whenever you make the switch, you started getting into the stock market, you started studying and whatever. Like you said, the first time you picked up a book, it didn't even make no sense to you.
No, it didn't make no sense.
When did it start to make sense?
Well, so I got on YouTube, ultimately. Back up. I had got in the stock Discord. The name of the Discord was Profit Rockets. And they had a guy named Kia Kelly on there. And I was, I had some money, I saved up and I was just taking his plays. And long story short, I was making quite a bit of money. And I think I ran it up to like 80, 90 grand. And I was just taking his plays. I didn't know nothing about no stock charts or nothing like this. So I was like, why in the hell am I going to pay to go some charts? I mean, why am I going to do my homework or learn how to chart and stuff like that if I'm paying you, X amount of dollars a month? I don't remember how much I was paying a month. It wasn't $34 or something like that. And, that's what I'm paying you for, to read these charts and, all this stuff. And long story short, I lost like, 30 grand on Apple, one earnings play, because he was hitting. So I'm full porting everything. Every bit of dollars in my account, I'm full porting it. And what I mean by full porting it, say if I got $10,000 in there, I'm taking the whole $10,000 and I'm putting it all in there. I'm putting all my chess pieces at the table,
But I also got to ask you this. And then you started, like you said, you were following a guy. It got to a point to you be like, okay, cool. I got to do my own thing. But as you started doing your own thing, like, did you have like some sort of a fear in you? Because like usually when you start into something and you're following somebody, you have some sort of a mentor, you got like some sort of confidence or belief behind it because you feel like, okay, I'm following somebody that know what they're doing.
Yeah, absolutely.
But when did it switch where you felt like, now I got to put belief into what I'm doing? I'm sure there was like some sort of fear or doubt within it. How were you able to get over that?
Well, how I was able to get over the fear and doubt is like I was in various discords and stuff like that. And once I started actually learning how to chart from that loss, that's when it clicked on me. And at the time, and I respect this dude to the fullest to this day. But back then when I lost that money, I blame only he was every, SOB in the world. I hated it. But I'm like, man, it dawned on me like, man, look, man, this man ain't lose you this money. It was me that pressed this button, ultimately. I mean, and I was being greedy. When I look at it now and I teach various traders now, I tell them don't do that. You know what I'm saying? I'm speaking from experience. Don't do this, don't do that, or, I advise you or recommend you to do this here. And I just went on just a 8, 9, 10 hour a day studying for months at a time. And I stopped going out. I stopped going drinking, and my partners was doing this and doing that, but I ain't care because ultimately I done got some of that success from the market, so I know what to do. Now, it's taken me quite a while. Now I'm here now, but back then it's like, man, look, however long this here take me, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put in the work, because I done tasted that success. And if I can do this here from taking this man here plays, then just think about what I can do when I see the stock market the way it's supposed to go.
So I know when it comes to the stock market, a lot of people always see it as a gamble. And I got a good example of it, like, because between me and him, so he see it most likely as a gamble. So, but me, I had my fair share where, I had the time to sit down and learn and teach myself, even though, yes, I made some money, I made some mistakes. And for anybody that's watching and that's kind of head home and scared to do this, or maybe thinking like have those perspective about, bad perspective about the stock market, what would you say to them?
Well, ultimately, I mean, the stock market can't be a gamble like on earnings plays. I mean, I play them here or there. I take a share of my, portfolio, and I'm only gonna put this in there. I'm never gonna throw the whole thing in there. If you don't know what you're doing, if you don't know how to chart, and if you can't control your psychological, you know, mind frame and stuff like that, then it's gonna be a gamble. I mean, everything in life is a gamble.
So therefore, where does, I don't mean to interrupt you, but like where does that mental psychology warfare, that the knowledge to it, to you, it ain't gamble anymore. I know what I'm doing, because it's kind of like, if you think about it, like people that gambles, you work in the casino. Let's just say you put like $30 on red. You don't know. You just know you put $30 on red and hope that ball ends on red. So how does that differ from being in the stock market?
The stock market is just like this here, man. If I'm marking certain triggers on certain time frames, or it might be a week time frame, 2 week, hybrid time frame, 2 day or something like that. And if it triggers, and if of course you're gonna have some resistance, and we talking about support and resistance, and if it triggers up here, then it'll go there at this particular price target. You take your profits. Now, one thing come across with a lot of people is being too greedy, or they done made $1,000 whatever, and they be like, nah, I want to make $2,000. And what I done learned just in that, man, the greedy man always gonna get got. That's when the market gonna teach you who's boss. I mean, you put $10,000 in there, you done made 13, 14, 15 racks, then by all means take your profits.
I think like me personally, so I think like when I got in the stock market, I was making a lot of money. But first is because like, so when I put the work in, and I feel like, okay, so now I become sentimental. In the beginning, I become sentimental because
you can't fall in love with it.
I know I did, and I was like, you know what? So I feel like
that fall in love. I'm gonna say, excuse me for cutting.
Oh no, you're good. You're good.
You got a lot of people that fall in love with a particular ticker, and so like my two favorite tickers playing all the time is Nvidia and Tesla. Cause that's more or less because I know the type of movements they make, type of moves they don't make, the particular times, and when they gonna go ballistic. And like I tell people in my Discord, hey, Nvidia moves on Fridays, up or down. She gonna make a hell of a move. And I don't know how much have you been in the Discord. You see that Nvidia is something that pays on Fridays.
See, like so me, like because I started like normal sticker. Then I get to like shit. I started making like, I said, man, let me go to the OTC. I didn't feel like myself trying to do the Apple, the big like buying a stock for $120. So at the time, let's see, I felt like if I had like a $500 or $1,000 when I started my account, buying like say 10 shares of Apple for $100, like, and then seeing that probably move like what 2 or 3 months later, and what I got.
But see too though, so like Apple just been making some hell of a moves, and we made, I don't remember the exact amount of dollars I made from Apple like recently, but I made quite a bit of dollars. And I've been buying Apple shares, and that was one of the first shares, bit of shares that I actually bought in my portfolio from the jump, because at the beginning, that's all I knew was Apple and Nike.
Yeah, but I mean, do you do that, like you're saying, like normal shares, or doing the stock option?
I trade the stock options on it, and I buy the shares with it.
Yeah, but I feel like at the time I wanted to build my portfolio. So at the time I felt like, man, if I keep buying, because me, I'm like a big player in my head, like go big or go home. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like, man, what can I do? I put $1,000 so it can make me money really fast. Like I'm talking about like big money. So then I started learning about the OTC. I started like picking up game. So like watching other people, started doing my own DD and stuff like that. Yeah, I started making a lot of money. At one point, man, I was killing it, and then I end up like falling in love, like with the stickers. I'm like, man, if this is gonna go from like 1 cent to like, I say I'm gonna sell it to like 50 cents.
Yeah.
So let's say 30 cents, I should have cashed out. Like, hey man, take your money. I say, fuck that. I ain't doing that. Yeah. I'm going to 50 cents, but it didn't register to me because at the time I'm like, I'm in love with it because I already make my own DD, and I felt like it's supposed to go to 50 cents. And then I started like, I make money, right? But just like, man, and then I would just, it go right back down. It took me a while to understand, hey, you can take your money out and then wait till it go down again, put it back in it again, ride the wave again. You know what I'm saying? So it took me a while
Because
to understand the whole process.
Me personally, as somebody that is extremely green in the stock market, the way I look at it is, I don't care what it can go up to. I don't care whether it can go to $1 million. If I bought it at a cent and it got to 3 cents, and I'm looking at the money, that's way more than I walked in there with. To me, that's a win. And I can tell, like we talked about off camera, Dogecoin. Me, everybody in here, me, him, and that guy behind the camera, we bought Dogecoin when it was less than a cent. And me, that it got to 30 cents. I'm like, yeah, I'm out. Peace out. And a lot of people were just waiting because him behind the camera and him, they're like, it's gonna get to $1. I'm like, I don't care if it get to $20. I bought it less than since at 30. I mean, way more than I walked in there to begin with.
Yeah, you gotta and that's the mind frame that you gotta have. Because for one thing with the meme type tickers or meme type of coins or whatever, you don't know when they're gonna pull a rug on them. So anytime you make some money off of it, you got to be able to take that and live with whatever you done left off the table if it keep on rocketing. You know, because and then like I tell people, hey, oatmeal is better than no meal. You know what I'm saying? I mean, what you rather go, you know, put $10,000 in there, you trying to hope that it go for $1 and it never get to $1 and then you start losing, then you lose the whole $10,000, you're going to feel sad then.
But yeah, and like just to get back within the beginning, I feel like there's like something we didn't touch up on because we talked about it over the phone, but we never got a chance to touch up on it. Mm-hmm. You said back then when you was up to no good or whatever, and I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of people watching this podcast right now to an extent they can relate to it because usually people in their mind they got like a ceiling. If you look at a guy right now that's in the street doing bad, in their mind right now that's all I can do and nothing else I know. Mm-hmm. So therefore, back then when you was living that type of lifestyle. Yeah. What was it within your mind that makes you feel like, yes, that's all I know, and there's way more out there, and to give you the courage to go for it?
Well, to be real with you, man, it's like when I did all that time, I came home, and my mindset was, hey, I'm going to be bigger than ever. It still wasn't on doing right, but I got a partner that, you know, me and him was like this, and he ended up getting a superseding indictment. And when he got that superseding indictment, it was just like, man, no. You're going down this road, you're about to get locked up. And we had stuff set up to where, hey, this was going to be bigger than ever. And after that happened, I don't want to go down this road no more. So I just turned back around, you know, pretty much just in life, you know, and said to myself, man, I'm going to get something. I don't know what it is, you know what I'm saying, but it's not going to be that no more. You know, not going to be them streets no more. You know, because there's nothing about, in my opinion, that you ain't scared of no other man. Because you have an alpha male online, you know what I'm saying, you're going to live with them in that same jungle. But it's just about, you know, you don't have people on the other end answering that phone call no more. You know what I'm saying? You can't talk to your kids. By then, you know, I had kids or whatever, and I never wanted them to come see me up in there. You know, and, man, there's a lot of people, people be promising you, man, I'm going to put some on your books or whatever, man, and people ain't coming through for you.
But, and also, you said that because usually, in life, most people, unless you get punched in the mouth, you don't get to learn your lesson. But let's just say if you had to talk to somebody, I guess to an extent, who got the same mindset that you had back then, and then let's just say if you want to stop them from getting that punch in the mouth, in order to get the lessons, in order to be like, I've been in your shoes, trust me, it ain't it type of words. What would you have to say to them?
Hold up, you say what would I have to say about?
Like somebody that just like back then, like that's still in the streets or whatever it is they got going on, that's still up to no good.
Some of them still actually is in the streets, and I try to talk to them when I can, man. But you know, with me, man, if you want to keep on going do wrong, doing the left thing, I'm gonna leave you where you at. I ain't gonna speak bad of you or nothing like that. I just know you an individual that I can't more or less like be surrounded by, you know, because I'm headed for somewhere else in life, you know. If you want to be with the BS, then you stay with the BS. I ain't gonna, you know, talk down on you or, you know, say, hey, I'm doing this. I ain't, you know, I'm just, hey, we just on two different lanes in life, you know.
So let's get back into the stocks. And I remember you were saying like sometimes you got discouraged. Can you touch up on like the few times throughout this whole stock thing where you got discouraged, where you feel like, okay, man, this ain't it?
Well, absolutely,
what brought
man.
you back?
You know, I speak on, I'm gonna say some of the Discord politics, and you know, I've been kicked from Discords and, you know, all kind of stuff when I felt like, you know, because I'll say the Discord, you know, being a Discord owner, it's been people that been wanting me to start my own thing for a long time, but I more or less was resisting it because I didn't want all that what comes with it. You know, it's like you under a microscope, and the whole FinTwit or whatever, on Twitter and, just social media in general. And it's a lot of, I be working a lot of 13, 14-hour days, dealing with all kind of stuff behind the scenes and just putting on plays and educating people and in the Zooms like I was showing him just a while ago,
So, but so since you get being educated, do your own due diligence, put the hours, put your 10,000 hours, and now you got your Discord and all of this. How's the journey been for you so far?
It's been very fruitful. I mean, but, I'm not going to sit here and say that it's all been peaches and roses. There's a lot of, jealousy and envy that come with that too. But, the great days outweigh, the bad days. Some days, I end up crying just from emotional wins and stuff like that. Some days I wake up and it's like, man, I done just put in, X amount of hours, man. I don't feel like getting up today. Being brutally honest, but hey, I'm working for myself, so I'm also live with that, the rent is due every day type of mentality, so I'm going to get this bread in this market, and these people depend on me to do certain things, and I'm going to produce by all means,
So, but my question would be, so having a Discord and then now teaching people, what is a positive thing somebody said to you that was really touching, and what was something that's fucked up somebody tell you that's kind of touched you in a very negative way?
People, quite a bit, man. I had this woman, she came to me, I'm going to say, her name is Dr. D, and she more or less like had become family now. And when she initially came to me, she said, Sal, do you think it's possible for me to pay off my mortgage? And I was like, hey, how much is your mortgage? She said, I want to say, I may be wrong, but I think she said 130K, 150K. She said in 4 years when she get ready to retire. And within 4.5 months, I told her, I said, hey, look, if you grind hard enough and you put in the work, man, you could do this in 6 months. And long story short with this here, she got the goal within like 4.5 months. This was in December, November, December, and she ended up getting the goal like in March, April, something like that.
Man, that's pretty cool, man.
Yeah. Well, was she like one of your students?
Yeah. She was my students, and we'd get on the phone every day, get on Zoom, and, I'm showing her my charts. And the crazy thing about that, man, I remember she was on the phone with her mother. I didn't know this part. And, we was doing a Zoom one-on-one, and she basically had aggravated me because I'm like, I'm asking them to see their charts and stuff like that, make sure that they really taking in the information that I'm giving them. And she couldn't show me. She was showing me some, chicken shit, pretty much, basically. And I say, man, you not listening to me. And, I got on her. And, I'm saying, her mama, she say, ooh, God, he not playing with you. You better take him serious. And, I say, man, what you mean? That woman on the phone, she listening to us? And she like, yes, Al. And I'm like, damn, I didn't know that, So that more or less is how we got close. And then, man, she's like a beast in the market now. She's a school teacher, and she's doing really well,
So let's get a chance to touch on like the Discord and the courses that you're doing. Let's just say they got somebody currently right now watching this podcast that's green or perhaps they got a bit of knowledge into it, and they're like, okay, how or what can I do to actually get in touch with this guy to follow one of his courses or one of his one-on-ones and to I can pick his brain in the whole 9 yards?
Reach me is go to ZamundaProfitSquad.com.
It's Zamunda?
Zamunda Profit Squad.
Why Zamunda?
How did the name come? But that's a good question. How did the name come as
Zamunda? Yeah,
Zamunda?
that is a good question. So that name actually come from, I'm going to say sometime weekly or whenever, give or take, like, or Fridays if we done had, good weeks or whatever in the market, we'll go on Twitter Spaces. And Twitter Spaces, that's pretty much where you can just talk amongst each other. Sometimes you have hundreds of people, talking about what went on in the market or particular tickers that's, they looking at or to play during the week or that they want to play. And Nvidia had just, this last year, this like last May, and Nvidia had just went ballistic. And they was talking about Tesla. And they're like, man, what y'all think Tesla gonna do? And I don't know about Tesla. And a guy named Podcast Dre, he was like, man, what y'all think? He asking that. And I'm like, man, Tesla about to go to fucking Zamunda. Just like that. And sure enough, like in a matter of like within a week, Tesla had ripped for 30, 40 points. So from that point on, that's when it's like that word Zamunda became like a household brand.
So go ahead and give it, like I know I interrupted you,
mean-
but tell the people again, like how to quite get in touch with you, the whole website and what you got going on.
ZamundaProfitSquad.com. The Zamunda just like on, Coming to America.
Coming to America. That's what it is. Zamunda.
Zamunda.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
There you go.
Zamunda. Zamunda.
It became, and it just became like a talking type of thing on, just like, Hot Boy or, Woe Day back in the day. It, all on Twitter, you see people talking about Zamunda and money printer sell this, money printer sell that. And that's what more or less like built up my following,
So, but like, I know it's gonna. I don't want it to sound like corny and this, but it's. I know a lot of people like like I said in the beginning, they don't trust the stock market, but if they follow, first you gotta put the work in, right?
Yeah,
So you gotta put the 10,000 hours, but if they follow your courses and follow be in the Discord, it's guaranteed they're gonna make money.
I don't like to guarantee nothing, but I'm gonna put that out there. You know what I'm saying? You come rock with me, you gonna have a whole different type of mindset. We in there 7 days a week. If I wouldn't be here, I'd be doing something in the Discord right now. And as you've seen on there, we big on education. Yeah, you gonna win from these plays that we put out, chart out, or whatever, but you gonna come get educated. And it's more or less like, hey, look, I see this particular setup and I like it, but it doesn't matter what I like. It depends ultimately on you to pull that trigger too. You have to like what I see as well.
So do you have a chance like somebody like come out at you say, hey, you make them lose money? Like,
oh, absolutely. But it's like this here. I make people so much money to where, I'm gonna say the outside noise like that right there, that ain't even something to worry about, because at the end of the day, no trader bats 1,000%. That's impossible. I'm talking about even people on Wall Street. Now the only thing the difference is, we may lose 10, 15 racks the same way we could win it. They losing 10, 15 million.
Yeah.
So therefore you feel saying like they going harder, so therefore they lose a whole lot more.
Well, Wall Street gamblers, not gamblers, but Wall Street hustlers or whatever you want to call them, they play the game in a different level. They got more at stake.
Yeah, that is actually fucking crazy, honestly, thinking about it. But I gotta ask you this though, Sal. Just to get back to the story, because I'm trying to stay within the timeline.
Yeah.
You said you started, you got on your own, you started putting the 10,000 hours a day, 10, 12 hours a day studying your craft. When did it actually hit you where you felt like, okay, now I got this? It's not like the hope and the belief, but it kind of felt like it clicked.
So like I was in various Discords and stuff like that. And I was in a Discord where I'm going to say I'd learned a good bit of what I do now from. And I just started looking at different things. I'm like, hey, look, this is wrong. I'm not taking this play. I'm going to go this way. If he's short, then I'm long in it. And just different stuff that I done learned how to chart. And I'm going to say search for my own tickers and all that good stuff. Once I figured that out, then, I started building up a name in that particular Discord. And the people started, I'm a regular member now. And the people started wanting to take my plays, or they want to pick my brains. And, they want to pay me for one-on-ones. And at the time, I didn't even know how to value that, so I was doing it for free. And then I built my own little Discord on the side, just away from that. I got out the Discord, stopped paying for it. And me and some friends and, trading friends, we was just rocking it out. This is like 4.5, 5 years ago or something like that. And different people on Twitter and social media started wanting to get in there. And then, that's when they like, man, you need your own Discord. I'm like, man, I don't want that. That's not something I want. This is something that we just doing. And then when I just started, after the Nvidia trade that I hit, that went to like $16,000, $17,000 a contract. That's when it just got too big to like keep on ignoring it, because it been for a long time that people wanted me to run my own thing, but I was resisting that to the fullest.
So let me ask you this, because I know, because me personally, like, beginning the stock market, the first time, this is funny, because the first time I got in the stock market, right? So I got to work. I didn't know nothing about the stock market, so I started making a little money, like in life, and I had a good job. So them guys, I was like, man, I want to, started branching out to different things. Yeah. So that's when I, know about the stock market. So I remember putting $500. And the first stock I put it on there, 3 days later, I lost $300. I said, fuck this. I'm out.
Yeah.
So then it took me like...
Happens. That happens, though.
So it took me 2 months to get. It took me like 2.
New into it, that's gonna discourage.
It took me 2 to 3 months to like.
Not to cut you off, but that's good. Because I got quite a bit of people who I'm gonna say, I don't. They have great careers with quite a bit of money. That's making $200,000-$300,000 a year. And I'm gonna say even people that's hustling whatever. They come at me like, Sal, hey, look, man, if I take this $50,000, how much can I make? Or and I tell them immediately, man, you gotta come learn this here. And you can't look at that like, hey, a lick. Yeah, the market can be a lick, but you don't have the proper mindset, man, you're going to get smoked like a pack of coals quick.
Yeah, so I just, when I did that, so I said, man, fuck this, I'm out. So 3 months later, so I'm just, I hear like another guy at work talking about it, they talking about it. I'm like, damn, okay, you know what? I'm going to go in this for real. So now what I started doing, because the first thing, I just put my money in. So I just found the first stock, put my money in, and that was no knowledge, nothing. I didn't do no dating, nothing like that. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So then I was like, you know what? I have to go about it like the proper way. So I started watching videos, started learning about it. So it's like every time I get paid, I'll put like $200, till I started like, when my first hit happened, oh shit, I was hooked. Like, okay. Now I'm going so much, so I started, putting more hours and hours and hours and hours in. I think, like, usually that can be detrimental for somebody because the first thing you get in, like I did, and I lost money, and I was like, man, I'm out. So it's, a lot of times it's the knowledge.
If you stop shooting that shot or stop shooting that goal, though, like I, been saying, you'll never know what the other side of life is like.
Yeah.
If you, like a particular, I'm going to say, if you going after Beyonce, you never shoot your shot. If you too chicken shit to go holler at her, you never know what it's gonna be like to be with her. If you can't be a man or, whatever,
But I kind of get that example you're currently using because usually a lot of people, whenever everybody goes for something they don't know much about, like you said, you want to shoot your shot at Beyonce. If you like, let's just say me personally, when if I see Beyonce, I'm gonna go shoot my shot at her. Mentally, I know there's like a 99.9% chance she would tell me get the fuck away from me.
That's a defeatist mindset, though, right?
Yes, but at the same time, but what I'm trying to get to is that 1%.
Yeah.
To where she might think, that 1%. Yeah. Where did that courage come from? Like if you look at it in the stock market point of view.
We come from the bottom already. It ain't no. I mean, what they going? Yeah, they could tell us no, and there's a good chance they tell us no. But hey, I might be that 1% that she get a yes to. Just like this man here. I don't know. I guess an officer maybe.
Yeah.
His goal may be the chief. You know what I'm saying? If he never put himself in position to win that chief or speak up to say he want that position, he'll never know.
I'm gonna listen. I'm gonna tell you the difference between this. Usually, a no don't cost nothing. Right now, right now I'm in the same page book as you are. If I go holler at somebody, no don't mean nothing to me. I didn't lose nothing. But now we're talking about money.
Absolutely.
So therefore, let's just if you got somebody right now got like $30,000, $50,000, $60,000 as their life savings, and you're trying to tell them to get in the stock market, and then they put $5,000 into a stock or whatever the case might be, that $5,000 disappear within thin air. They don't have nothing to show for it. It's different towards a mental game. I can hear no all day. Yeah. I can hear failure all day. But like whenever it's like I'm losing something that's actually tangible here.
Hold up. Is you going to let that loss get to you?
But like when it's tangible like that, it's money I'm losing here. Like that's money, that's my hard-earned money. I have to trade my time to get that kind of money.
If you have that same mindset, it'll never work for you, bro. Because business, and I look at the market as a business, by the way.
It is.
If you keep on letting that one loss get to you, you're going to let that spoil 10, 15, 20 years of, what could have been.
I got my fair share. Shit, I lost $100,000 in 3 days. Yep. Literally in the stock market. It's just like I made a lot of money, but $100,000 in 3 days, that's a lot of money.
But like, the thing is, when he says those type of stuff to somebody, let's just say like somebody that's green as much as I am, when you hear somebody say they lost $100,000 in 3 days, and you're thinking about it, and that's like, this guy ain't got shit to show for it. Yeah. And then let's just say right now, if you got $500 and you were thinking about going to the stock market, and you're like, I can't even afford to lose $20 worth of that.
I win. Again, my portfolio get to like, I mean, I know I say 100 grand, but my portfolios and all my account get to like $750,000. So therefore, it's, even though I say I lost 100 grand, it sounds as a lot, but I make big wins too. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day,
if you're an individual that if that's all you got is 100 grand and you put that 100 grand at the table, then that's something you should have been doing. You shouldn't have been playing it heavy at all.
yeah.
You just betting on that. It's too much stuff that could happen to to put all your chips at the table in something like that.
But is that something like you touched up on your Discord, like just somebody that's green as hell, you trying to explain to them how this whole thing work?
On a general, so like my DNA is a swing trader. What I mean by swing trading is, you swinging a trade from more than one day. And I swing trade, day trade, and scalp. And on my scalps or day trades, I'm only trying to get 30%. And if I'm getting 10, 20, 15, 30, how many ever contracts, 30%, that's going to basically guarantee me $1,000, $3,000 a day. If I can't live off of that, now you take $3,000 times 5 and what you come up with that.
15G.
Yeah, let me ask you this. So what's your motto? I'm talking about as a trader. So everybody because me, I don't think I had one. I think I was just making money. So therefore, as I hear you say it take really you got to put greed on the side. Literally, you have to put greed on the side.
Absolutely.
Okay, some people, me, I wanted to go all the way in, make as much money as I want to make. You know what I mean? Yeah. So let's say if I make, let me go back. So what is your model? If I make this amount of money, I'm good.
Yeah, that's so primarily, 30% or something like that on a daily basis. It'll give me $1,000 to $3,000, depending on, $3,500, depending on how many contracts I bought. And I base my conviction on particular setups, we call it the Holy Grail, the Nirvana, double inside days. And that's just particular setups that's on the chart or whatever. And I'm going to, put however much I feel like I can, I feel comfortable with, on that setup, and I get 30%. Now, I get that 30%, now there's something else. I hold my full position. And if I don't see anything in that particular chart that can hurt me, I'm standing that trade. You know what I'm saying? That's where sometimes them 100% come from and, stuff like that. But by all means, if you have a small account, you have to take your profit. Because a lot of time that greedy man get got.
Yeah.
But I also another question. Currently where you at right now, of course you can look back and realize, okay, I've learned a lot, made a lot of mistakes, I got to where I was right now. But at the same time, as you was going through this, let's just say way back when you had the 9 to 5 and you had this going on, when did you decide, okay, cool, I can do this on my own? Because leaving a 9 to 5 is a lot of pressure. Because the beauty about 9 to 5 is, there's a check coming.
Yeah, I agree, but it wasn't a lot of pressure for me because I hustled all my life, just whether it was illegal or just getting money. So it wasn't a lot of pressure for me, but more or less it was because on the end, what it was man, this job is getting in the way of me making a lot of money because I was making, 30, 40, 50 racks. I had 100K days, 150K weeks and stuff like that. And I'm like, man, why am I still on the job? And I got tired of them people, talking to me whatever, the way they wanted to. It just got to be too much in a way.
I felt like it was a safe bet for you because I feel like maybe anybody that's in a position where they know they got the knowledge to make 120, 60, 40, 50 within a week.
Man, I was getting
that ain't no risk.
I was getting write-ups on jobs, you know what I'm saying, for trading. And I'm sneaking, taking trades and, getting in trouble and all this and that.
Yeah, but I understand a lot of people though because sometimes it's not making the money is not. So usually it's not the problem. It's where a lot of people fail. It's just not putting the work in because the money to get to Sal you are now the hard work had to come in with it. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people can turn to you tomorrow, but are they willing to do what they're supposed to do?
That's what each and every individual got to ultimately act upon themselves. They got to look at themselves in the mirror and say, hey, I want to do this, but am I willing to put in the hard work? Am I willing to sacrifice my weekends to go out with my friends or family, whatever, and willing to study this, read or listen? Because I listen to a lot of my books on Audible. And you got to be willing to do that, to sacrifice them weekends to live the way you want to live.
I got another question for you because you got a Discord clearly to where you at right now. You with a master, especially among everybody in this room. What's the most money you ever made somebody? What's the most money somebody had to lose because of you? Not because of you, but let's just say to
I'll
you were
say,
wrong
like,
and then they
in
follow
a
your
particular
path.
day, I've had Dr. D. She's had $40,000 days. I've had people. This guy, he took like I want to say like $400, and in a matter on the swing trade, he made like $70,000 or something like that. From like this was from SMCI. You know,
I had those days.
I can't really count how many particular, how much money they've lost, but it's been in the thousands as well.
I think 300 grand in 3 days too. One time, I think 4 days.
When them tickets go ballistic, like
Yeah,
we just
yeah.
had AVGO, and I'm gonna say this could have been like my third unicorn trade of my career. Basically $600 equal to $14,000 in one contract. So if I bought 3 of them, that would have been quite well over 50 grand.
So what's the like? I know it's kind of like a personal question, but just I think generically. So how much money you feel like the most money you ever make from a play?
From one single play, I made $1.3 million, and I also made $916,000 from Revlon trade and the Nvidia trade.
That's a lot of money, bro.
And from the Nvidia trade alone, man, I cried like a baby with my son.
What did you tell the people when you make that money?
I'm rich, bitch.
Yeah, you got the fucking right you were.
Yeah,
shit.
Man, that is amazing. That is
There was a
amazing.
lot of jumping up, and I had just a barrage of emotions, and I cried like a little baby too.
Oh yeah, man, shit.
Being locked up in me and my partners, in the projects, we thinking like, man, when we gonna have $10,000 or $15,000, and I done just did it in this matter of time. But the whole thing about the Nvidia trade, man, like I showed y'all, I had called this way back before a lot of people eyes was on it, and it's like more or less I was locked in on it, but what a lot of people don't understand too. Now I'm gonna say this here, so the earnings had helped it a lot because it went to, I want to say, ballooned to over $81 overnight, but it would go up to $5,000 a contract, and they go down to like 4,000, 3,000. I remember the day before, it was a lot of talk on Twitter because by then, I'm building up this name and, everybody know about it now, Nvidia, because it's going up 20, 30 a day or, just having these ballistic type of runs in a single day. And I started thinking, like, one of them guys, he was like, man, I don't think Nvidia going to do so well. And that's when I started listening to the noise of the stuff. And, I started getting scared. I was like, man, what if this don't do that and I just lose all this money I done just made? But also looked at it like, man, I'm never going to, know what it's like to hold this type of money if I don't swing this. And, I was still, 5-6 minutes before the bell, before the actual earnings, I'm still thinking this to myself. And, man, I'm going to be, a boss now, or I'm going to be, a whole fool or a clown. But I risk that.
And you know when you say that, you know what goes to my mind? You remember when you say, when you have an idea, like, you just like, if it happened, you're a fucking genius.
Yep.
And if it doesn't happen,
you a dumbass.
you a dumbass.
Absolutely, but you gotta have that as a hustler, entrepreneur, man. Anything in business or just somebody who gonna have anything significant, you gonna look crazy to a lot of people. Like Kanye. I view Kanye as a genius, but he a crazy type of dude. But what Kanye do, he genius. Now his antics, he crazy, but what he's saying is to be the truth.
But I don't think like, to me personally, I think, they got a lot of people like, when you got this type of mentality, I call it a godlike personality. So when you got a godlike personality, and I accept myself that I have that too, but that's when you have people like close to you that just not the people for the money. Because sometimes when you have money, it's people like, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir, whatever. So you don't have somebody say, man, you fucking up. What the fuck you doing, Sal? I mean, that's just not the right thing to do.
Brought that up. So I got 2 friends. I'm gonna say there's Duhon and Kendrick Johnson, and them 2 dudes, man, I always more or less looked up to them because both of them had their mom and their father, in their life, and I didn't have that growing up, and them 2 keep me even healed, and hey, look, man, you ain't doing this right, or I don't think you should do this, and there's 2 dudes that they never looked at me no different from being from the projects, they looked at me as their equal, they a year younger than me, but as far as they concerned, we all equal.
And I think that's Kanye's problem because Therefore, when you got this kind of personality and you don't have people around you
Like
and
somebody
that
to put like to hold you down, like I put
keep you
some,
grounded.
like a grounded, put some sort of leash within you to like, yeah, you get what you're saying, but don't say that in public.
yeah, and then because
Them
you start
dudes-
saying shit, you start saying
Yeah,
like,
but them dudes, they like I say, man, this other businesses from this here that we gonna form. You know what I'm saying? And that's like lifelong friends, man. That's I go to war behind them, they go to war behind me, and they encourage me, and I don't look at them no different now. We just go out to eat dinner, go out to have drinks and stuff like that. We look out for each other, man, and they both in my Discord too. And
yeah, but it's like a special kind of person to be able to always have those special friendship and keep on with it. Because the minute you start making money, and then if you feel like, okay, you know what? So everything you say now, if I say the sky is red, and he's just right here say,
man, and
yes sir,
that's
yes
something
sir.
That's not going.
know?
Ultimately, bro, that's gonna lead to your downfall.
That's what happened with Kanye, because the more you saying stuff and you feel like, okay, everything I say, the people around me, before you even get on camera, right?
Yes, man.
Everything you say is, yes, sir. Oh, man, I think he's legit. What you going to say? And then you get to the word, you say, you know what? The sky is red. And everybody look at you, man, what the fuck?
You're stupid. It's kind of like,
but the people never was like, the people right next to you never said
They ain't got
anything.
nobody genuine around.
That's the problem. I think that's what happened a lot of times with people that got those godlike personality, have all this money, but they don't have nobody they really trust, or they never build a kind of friendship. Like if they did, and sometimes they feel like, I'm too powerful now. I don't want to listen to what he's gonna say. Fuck him. Let me go do my own thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
that man, like, I know you kind of touched up on it a little bit, but I'm just stuck up on that. Like you said, you make over $1 million. Like, having that kind of money, knowing that all the amount of work that you put in throughout the years gets you to that point, like, walk me through that emotion and feeling. How did it feel like?
Man, I was happy, but like I was sad too, but not sad, but just like, hey man, we did it. It was just a euphoric type of feeling. Like when Jordan crowd, everybody be laughing about. That's just
yeah.
And me and my son is practically all I got. I have several. I have 3 sons, but he's the one that stay with me. And we went through a lot together, and he enjoying the ride right now.
Sure you go.
And that is
And
crazy.
right now, I'm proud to say, he learning, support and resistance, and the basics of charting.
That's a good thing, because when I hear off camera, I listen how you teaching your 16-year-old son to do all these things and get him in the game before. And I bet you by the time he get like 20, he's not gonna work for nobody. He's probably like gonna learn
that's
this.
more or less like what I'm really ultimately trying to put him on, to be self-sufficient. Like, hey, look, you're gonna go to college. You're gonna learn business or whatever you choose in life to be. Now, ultimately, at first I wanted him to play football, and I got mad because he didn't want to play it. But I said, I talked to the big man. I said, basically the big man told me he gonna be fine whatever he chooses in life, because he's not a child that gives me any trouble. Or, the only thing I'll be having a problem with him is by going to bed on time, because he be playing that game online all day. That's the only thing. He don't never, disrespect me or, nothing like that. And I'm strict on him in the fact that, hey, you ain't staying out late at night, because, I used to be in the streets. At his age, I was in the streets, staying, not coming home till, 5, 6 the next morning, 7, 8 a.m., Yeah. At his age, I was on the street hustling at 13.
Man, that is actually crazy. So, but I gotta ask you this though, because we usually got to ask this question to every single guest. Like right now, where you at?
Mm-hmm.
If you had to tell your 15-year-old self anything, let's just say if you had like a 5-second window, because we're not gonna make it long, a 5-second window to where you got like that one piece of advice you could pass on to your 15-year-old self from all the knowledge you've done acquired, where would it be?
Don't go with the crowd. Go against the grain. Always go against the grain.
Shit, I agree with that 100%.
Because anytime you follow the crowd is generally wrong, but you may think that's right. Or anything like in the stock market too. You may feel like, hey, this gonna hit for sure, but you always got to think of the negatives or what could possibly happen. And what's easy, it won't happen. The road long travel, that's the one you want to go down. The easy route is not the route you want to go down.
So therefore, was that some sort of mentality you built throughout the years, or perhaps you felt
Absolutely.
like back in the day you couldn't see it like that, then you see it like that?
Back then I couldn't see it because I wanted every shortcut in the book. Every shortcut in the book I wanted. But through life, I've learned that, my road, everything I feel like now, the table set, I just got to go get it. You know what I'm saying? God put me here for a reason, and that's to feed people, but I got to learn my lessons. There's some obstacles along the way that I go through to get ultimately where I want to go through.
So, man, we like on the show, we like to do a game show and ask you, like, question, and you just the first time that come to your mind.
Yeah.
So, if you have to live in one city for the rest of your life, where would it be?
That's a good question. I think maybe Dallas or Austin, Texas.
Well, I love Dallas and Austin. I love Austin more than Dallas, but I can relate to that. And also another question. Let's just say if you had to eat one food for the rest of your life, pizza is not included. What would it be?
Meatloaf. Something regular like that. And I eat a lot of, gourmet food. And, a few weeks ago I had some tuna, that foie gras and, Wagyu steak. Just in Vegas I had a dry aged bone-in steak. And all together the whole meal ran me like $600. I just wanted to experience it. I wanted to do it.
Shit, you work hard for that, man. I mean, I know this
absolutely.
experience is what count, really. It's not sometimes people think about is the money you spend, but really, surely,
Man,
is
it's
the experience.
man. Look here, man. I used to be, when I was in the streets, I used to be heavy on going to get them J's that come out. I want to say back then they come out on Tuesdays and Thursdays, like once a month or something like that. But now, man, I'll go pay for a flight in a minute. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Go over here in Charlotte or Atlanta or, Florida or something like that just to see how they live in other parts of the country and stuff.
Yeah, I'm right there with you because at first, he got me. He was talking me about traveling because at the time, like I was never big on travel, but I'm hooked now. I want to just travel.
Traveling is like a different experience because for some reason, like people don't get. It's like
and
whenever
you know what too? When you're with a woman, that's the best way. That's the best way to really ultimately get to know her.
Yeah.
Get away from her friends and her comfort zone. And you're away from that same thing too.
You're right. You're right. 100%, Sal. You're right. 100%. You genuinely are. But another question I gotta ask you though, like we never asked no other get that question. Let's just say if you had to choose a different path in life, let's just say if it wasn't like the stock market and all that kind of stuff, what would it be?
Real estate.
Man, I'm in straight business.
That's all
it's
I'm
business,
gonna say my end goal with all this here is mergers and acquisitions. And what I mean by that is buying and acquiring companies. Because that's just, I'm gonna say when I started thinking legally, it was a book called Barbarians at the Gate and Predators Ball about, Michael Drexel. I don't know how you say that. I don't remember his name, but he was a corporator, and that's the stuff that really interests me and just, being aligned.
I mean, these days you can never go on about business because, like, we we never want to. You never want to work for somebody else for the rest of your life. I mean, a lot of people, like, I know they're satisfied with that, but we never look at it as an option. I mean, it's a stepping stone, but it's not the goal. You know what I mean?
Because to kind of touch up to kind of like what you were saying, because anybody got 9 to 5, it doesn't matter whether they enjoy it or not. It's just you trading your time for money. Yeah. And for the most part, if people want to be honest with themselves, most people don't care about that job. They just care about that paycheck.
Man, I know people that make $200,000-$300,000 a year, and yeah, they making that money. They got nice things, but man, they not controlling their time. And like I say, it's people that I would have never imagined would be seeking me out and inboxing me or finding my number from various people, man, and trying to come learn this. And some days I even cry behind it, and just thinking from back in the day, people wasn't coming for me up to me or getting in contact with me for nothing good. I've literally every single day, man, somebody from social media trying to get in touch with me or trying to offer me X amount of dollars, and but I'm finding out too now as I get further along in this journey, I gotta more or less get some systems in place to really handle the influx of people because it's tons of people that's coming my way that if I don't get them systems in place, man, we're gonna die out or it's just not gonna work.
I agree with that 100%, Sal. But
man, so like I know, like I always said. So, I think personally, to me, I don't look at the stock market as a gamble. I know everything in life is a gamble, but I think as long as you can, knowledge is power. As long as you can acquire the knowledge, you put the 10,000 hours. You might not be able to control everything, but you can control like 80% of it. And then unless you get the mindset, you're not gonna have every win. I can't guarantee nobody you're gonna go in the stock market. And
It's impossible to have. It's impossible to bat 1,000.
Yeah.
Period. Because even some of the trades I take, man, I may think that it's going here, but it might not do as well. But I'm still gonna be profitable.
Yeah.
Now, right now, I'm like 87, 88% type of batter as far as the market goes. Like I don't lose too much, and I try to cut my losses as fast as possible. Like at this stage, like majority of my losses come from mental mistakes or staying in the trade too long. Not taking my profits. And y'all may be like, what you mean not taking profits? I mean, I've had an individual, they be up, I think she was up 18, 19 grand or something like that. Early in the morning, I'm like, man, take your profits. And long story short, at the end of the market day, she had done lost every.
So when you say taking the profit, you mean take the whole 18,000 out, or just take a few money out? Because people take profit different.
What I mean by taking profit, I mean selling the contracts.
Okay. So they take that, you make that $19,000 because sometimes people can be having, let's say, I never do the contract, the options, but let's say you're taking, let's say for instance I had $100,000 shares in this company, I probably sell maybe 50,000 of it and just take profit from that. You know what I mean? Some people
do that. I mean, so say if you got a roll of 10 contracts or something like that, you could sell 5 up, take profit from 5 of them,
yes,
and swing the rest of them, or you wanted to go to a particular price target,
yeah,
on the chord of them, and you just hold them.
And to your website, the Zamunda, I don't quite remember, but I'm gonna go back and listen to this, and I'm sure I'm gonna get your contact so I can ask you for it. Does it start from A all the way to Z, or do you start from the very beginning level all the way to to somebody like him that had a better understanding of things?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it teach you from point A, from picking the contracts, learning how to chart, learning the Greeks of the option contracts. It has some psychology in it as well, in the Discord as well. Basically what we initially had wanted to put it into a course, and I said, bump that, man, we just going to get this to the members to add and provide more value to the members, because at that point in time when we was recording the videos, it was an influx of people, and we was finding it hard to, put out the trades and then educate at the same time. And then more or less that's why we switch our schedule to, we're going to have at least 3 days where we live educate people, and, we're going to put it on you to, be accountable for yourself. You got to come to these classes, and y'all going to see once y'all getting, once y'all see enough, man. I get on people by coming to class, and this is serious business. This ain't, no fly-by-night type of stuff. This ain't going to just happen from, you just taking my trades. Now, it's quite a bit of people that just, rely on me for the trades and stuff. And, but hey, man, look, you got to take your profits or whatever, and, you got to get that studying in.
Yeah, man, take it from me, because me, I've done it. I know he never did, but I've done it. I understand what it takes, the amount of hours, the amount of times it takes. But trust me, the minute you got that one taste of success, you're gonna get addicted to it. You wanna go. You wanna get. Don't make. Because at first, like I told you off camera, I mean, when I started making money, all my trading, was heating. I thought nobody could touch me.
Put things in perspective like this up. The average American paycheck is about $1,000, $1,500 every 2 weeks, give or take. And you come in the market, you make $4,000, $5,000 in a single day.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you take your profits? Let's be more realistic. You done just made more than what you do in a check. Why wouldn't you take your profit and try to, be greedy?
Yeah. So at some point, Warren Buffett ain't got nothing on me. I think I couldn't listen to nobody. There is nothing you could tell me. I'll listen to you, But it took me some losses, but I think I had to go through it, because after a while I thought I was untouchable. So, but I didn't lose any money. So it's just the money I made, and it went ballistic. You know what I mean? So I had a chance to take my money out and, do what I was supposed to do, enjoy myself a little bit. But I think the stock market, this can be an outlet for anybody, just like anything. Just put the work in, and if you got a chance, because I'm really hooked, because I never go to that part where I do, option and stuff like that. Listen to you talking, man, now shit, I'm a Zamunda, You know what I mean? So you can call me as a Zamunda. So I'm with you on that.
That shit going to Zamunda.
I'm going to Zamunda with you because I mean at the end of the day, but to me, like I was telling you, because on the phone I was like, man, I never had a chance to talk. Like, because I feel like the Discord was just bullshit. Like I feel like, man, I don't trust none of it. But had a chance to talk with somebody like, damn, this guy is a whole nother level than I am. Yeah. So therefore I'm willing to concede, like, you know what? I'm a student. I'm a student of the game. I'll sit down and listen and just like, yeah, why not? So if anybody's watching, I want you to tell them again what the Discord do, what they can get from that, and just talk to the people.
So
man.
the Discord primarily, now you can come in and make money off our plays, but primarily we are educational based. Now we have different other channels in there as well because some people, you know, they know how to trade or whatever, or, you know, they've been trading for a while, so they want more or less like the community vibes and come make some money as well. So we have different tabs in there, you know, like the sports betting and the anime and stuff like that. You know, and just you come in there, learn. We do live trade some days. We don't live trade every single day, but every day you gonna expect, you know, you can expect to get educated and make you some type of money.
Hey, what's that website again? Zamunda.
ZamundaProfitSquad.com.
Profit Score? Squad.com.
Yeah.
All right,
And this episode is sponsored by ZamundaProfitSquad.com. You heard it here? Shit, I'm a Zamunda soldier.
Hey, Thal, man, thank you for stopping by, man. We
Thank
had a
you
great
so much.
conversation,
Yes,
especially for me as somebody who's as green as I am. Speaking to a master like you, I had a chance to do it. Like, it opened my mind to a whole new level. Whenever I'm sitting across somebody who's telling me they done made $1.5 million, whatever it was, in one day, that blows your mind. And honestly, and I know a lot of times people are going to hear this kind of numbers, so you're going to be like, well, he's lying. But at the same time, to me, it's like I'm in the presence of somebody that shows me there's a possibility to where somebody can believe and put the amount of work and make that kind of money in one day. That's how I'm looking at it, me personally. So therefore, man, I really appreciate you stopping by. And I've got, like, within this conversation, me personally, I've learned a lot. And you guys best believe I'm going to be one of the first guys starting tomorrow morning, perhaps even tonight, to get into MundaProfitSquad.com.
So, and then we wanted to thank everybody, all the supporters that support this channel. And thank you so much. We wouldn't make it without you. That's the reason we can sit down and somebody like Sal that give us the game. They can we can bring you people like this so you can go follow them and make you some money.